Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoin and Altcoin Trading Talk number 24. Special guest tonight, special guest host, I should say. I'm Rob Borden from Coinigy. Usually my partner in crime is hosting this show, as you know, William Kale. He's actually on location with Alex Stirk tonight in the depths of some dungeon somewhere.
Yeah, we're hanging out in the dungeon here. Alex is actually in Milwaukee. Couldn't find a suitable cafe with Wi-Fi, so we're hanging out at my buddy Matt's house in the basement. So, and now his dog is barking. So
yeah,
I apologize.
Might hear some of that, but yeah, I drove all the way across the country just to sit down here with Will and do the show for you guys.
Yeah, sit down in the utility closet at the local high school and do a quick YouTube show. So as usual, also with us tonight is Brian Beamish, the Rational Investor.
Good evening.
How you doing tonight, Brian?
Hi, very good. Lots of profits booked this past week. Been rocking and rolling. Can't complain.
Excellent. Yeah, I've heard the trading's been great from what I've been hearing across our chat and other places. A lot of people have been doing really well, obviously, in various altcoins that are booming right now, which is obviously what we're here to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
William, do you have any updates about Coinigy before we get started with the altcoins?
So just a real quick update.
What's the word from underground?
I don't know. I think they're shelling right now, Brian. So I've been kind of out of commission for the past 4 days with the flu. I'm just kind of coming back into life today. So thankfully, Alex is here to have a brew with me and kind of nurse me back to health. But the big thing kind of in the pipeline for Coinigy is we're working on Poloniex margin trading. So that's kind of what I've been working on today prior to kicking it with Alex. So we expect Poloniex margin to be available definitely by the weekend, more likely probably Thursday or Friday. We'll see how it goes, the kind of roadblocks we run into. So obviously we have a ton of Poloniex and Ethereum traders out there that are kind of itching for it. So stay tuned, guys. That's really kind of it in terms of Coinigy updates. Also, we did, if you haven't logged in recently, we did go live with blockchain data on chart, which Alex really likes.
That's what we need.
Yeah, so we have 4 metrics there right now. Basically, the big thing, though, the cool thing is basically market cap. That's kind of the best gauge right now, but we also have difficulty, coins outstanding, and one other metric that evades me right now because of the above ground shelling. So, so look out for that. There's a purple icon on top of the chart that you can click and basically add it. I think we have like 135 blockchains right now that we're kind of cataloging. And we're adding a whole heck of a lot more metrics. So if you guys have any suggestions in terms of metrics to add, definitely send us a message in chat or tweet at us or do whatever it is you'd like to do. And looks like reward size is the one that I missed.
Ah, cool.
So that's pretty much it for us, and we can, I suppose, jump into the TA that everyone craves.
Let's get it on.
Well, I think for starters, I'd really like to hear what Brian's thoughts are on the old classic Litecoin, because when I was checking some of the momentum, we might be seeing some crossing lines, some slower moving averages crossing some faster ones.
On Litecoin?
Yeah, some LTC.
All right. Are we looking at
Getting old school now.
Well, normally I don't speak fondly of Litecoin, but I feel like its time is coming up. Like it's due for some movement, but we'll
what
see.
exchange do you trade this on?
Oh, geez, the best exchange would probably be BTC-e, and then be Bitcoin Litecoin pairing. Because normally they are tied pretty closely, but yeah, the pairing of the two of them, you can get a good idea of gaining some ground on it.
Okay, and I often suggest to you guys, and now that we're starting to see this filled out, we're getting more data to work with. Can everybody see the, I'm actually going to look at the weekly chart to start off with, and, as crypto gets older, we will be able to refer to the weekly charts more and more. And so, if anything, this is going to help us as technicians as crypto develops. So looking at the weekly chart, and frankly, I don't know whether this is the best weekly chart to look at. Maybe Phoenix or something might have more data. I don't know.
Might be the USD market that has more data.
Yeah, it also depends.
All right, let's see what we have when we go like that. There we go. All right, and actually what's really cool about this is you can actually see, I used to, there are some people that weren't aware that there was a time when Litecoin was actually going up at a faster rate than Bitcoin percentage-wise. But the point that I would just make here off of this weekly chart, and I think actually we see it relative to BTC a little bit better actually. So hopefully, can you guys see the W here? Down, up, down, breakout. This, in my opinion, is probably like a structural bottom here. And, this was the halving event. And you guys remember all the talk about the LTC Ponzi scheme that the guy in China was running into the halving event?
Oh, Fontes was, playing around and pumping it up.
Right. I seem to remember there was a specific gentleman in China that there was a story around that. Here nor there. My hunch is what seems to end up happening is the coin puts in a base, and then if we figure that the base is somewhere down in here, and you can see, if we do that versus US dollar, it's probably easier to understand that number. And you can see it's about $2, right, roughly. Halving event, coin should go to $4, right? Basically, if everything's equal, $2, half the payout, $4. And what often happens is the market moves way beyond, right? We went all the way up to $8, which is completely unsustainable. And ironically enough, what you see over time is the market just simply works its way down to $4. Big surprise. Do I have a pound the table? You got to buy this thing right now? Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could make the argument if you want to join the institutional players that are long off the bottom, then you're probably going to be working your bids along this level. And then we could also make the argument, of course, reload zones, right? If we go there to there. And we go something like this. It really shouldn't surprise us to see that there is a fight here. The only problem I have is, like you can take trades based on trade location, and that's great. In fact, a lot of my very low risk altcoin purchases that I do in the altcoin space, my little old lady risk strategy, I really wouldn't have a problem going and buying some in here. And really, because the little old lady has a very specific risk model, she can actually risk the whole thing. I'll let it go to 0. It's fine. We certainly see enough doubles, triples, quadruples, quintuples to more than offset the relative small percentage of our coins that go off the board. So that risk strategy works. The problem here is you can't take that kind of risk strategy if you're, say, margin trading. Because this kind of percentage would just simply be too much. You just couldn't handle it. So in that vein of thought, I would actually like to see you really focus in, and let's let the indicators sort of tell us, through things like divergences and things like market structure, that this thing is actually turned. What I kind of see is sort of wiffle-waffly here. I don't really see anything to get too excited about here. I do see a potential bottom in our MACD, right? Ideally, Alex, I love market structure. I would prefer to see this MACD put in the W first, and then I'm going to go hunt some sort of price structure to get in on the trade. Right now, at absolute best, we can say momentum is simply sideways. And it's just going to bounce between these 2 points until it sort of comes up with some direction. So show me a W breakout through here, and then I'll start getting all jazzed on momentum. And if we did see that, then odds are we're going to see a W out of Willie too, which we don't really see here yet. Willie did threaten to get stupidly oversold there, but just missed, and now we're not there. So you can't really make the argument that, you know, Willie stupidly oversold, the public is panic dumping. It looks to me like we could go either way there. If we go down to the dailies, Alex, can you see this well-defined top here in momentum?
Yeah, I definitely see something coming down a bit there.
We do have a moving average cross. We're trying to put in a W, but again, you know, I would almost prefer, you know, off of if we're going to really try and time these trades really well. And keep in mind, we only have so much money to spend in the market, right? We can't, like, buy everything. If you're going to margin trade, if you're going to really leverage trade this, then I want to see this thing set up perfectly. Yeah, what I see is kind of, you know, nothing to get too excited about. Internally, we see that momentum is in sync. There really isn't any divergences or anything here that we should be cognizant of. Volume-wise, there's again that top that sort of lines up with our Williams percentage R. And I don't think it's necessarily that sellers are really dominating here. I just think that it looks like, if anything, buyers just kind of walked away. There we go. So you can see that the buyers were active here, and that's this bar here, but as price has moved higher, the buying bars have actually moved lower. Can you see that, Alex?
Yeah, there's definitely
a little bit of a divergence here. That's a bit concerning, eh? So put it together, I guess what I'm saying here is I don't mind the overall trade location. I don't really see a compelling momentum or volume reason to get too excited here. And unfortunately, you know, guys, I mean, I hate to say it, I don't hear anybody saying anything positive about Litecoin.
Yeah, I haven't really, aside from today, we had a few requests, but I haven't really heard anything, you know, nothing really groundbreaking has happened with Litecoin.
Yeah, no, and I got nothing either. I just figured it was something that it seems to be at, like you say, a reasonable buy location. And
that's about it, though, right?
Well, it's at that it's the settling level. Like, it's being accumulated, albeit very slowly, but we want to see more action before we're willing to lock up funds in it. I understand kind of what your argument is for it, Brian.
Yeah, you know, there's so many other fish for us to fry.
Oh, yes. And speaking of fish, so last week I kind of mentioned Factum at FCT and like how it was being accumulated at $1. And anyone who isn't living under a rock has probably seen the movement since we last talked about it. So I've been quite happy, and I got plenty of funds now to go shopping with. But
okay, well, don't let it burn a hole in your pocket, right? You're a professional now.
Yeah.
You're just gonna wait for the market to tell you when to buy, right?
Exactly. Well, and something that's good
creating gaps on the day chart even.
Yeah, so here was that FCT, and everybody watching this show, you know, like I had lots and lots of tutorials with students this week. This is like the definition of a volume breakout.
Oh, you're on Trex, Brian. You need to go to Poloniex for that one.
It doesn't really matter. The chart looks the same, right? The point here is that, you know, and actually we teach this in the course called Volume Impetus. Can you guys see that, you know, especially if we like zoomed in just off of this recent consolidation range? This is such a good lesson. Everybody watching this video, seriously, this is worth the price of admission right here, so pay attention. Does everybody see how the market basically ran into sideways action here? Basically, we hit a trading range. Can you see that? Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Maybe. And into this trading range, remember we talked about volume divergence there a moment ago, Alex? Right?
Sure do.
You know, if you see a situation where the market's making a higher high in price, but the volume bars are not matching, that's a bit suspect. So, in essence, this volume bar here, or this price bar versus this volume bar here was saying, hey, careful, don't get too excited, there's something not right here. Sure enough, price had to consolidate. Now, what was the key that this consolidation was over? If we just simply draw a straight line off of this high, you can wait for just basically the moment that this ticks through this high, and that is a volume breakout. But now this is one thing that we teach in the program that I'm actually really proud of. I've never seen anybody else on the internet teach this, but check this out. And it's kind of tricky. I don't know whether you're going to get it, but see if you can follow me. We're just going to simply watch the green volume bars. They are, in essence, a proxy on buyers. And hopefully what you see is boom, boom, boom. Can everybody see the double bottom in the volume bars here? You see how it's making this W and breaking out. What do you think, Will, Alex, Rob? Can you see that?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Now, you know, our OBV study, and this is why I like OBV, it basically is, you know, visually, whoops, I'm not quite sure how that got on there. It is visually, oh, that's weird, it moved one line, but it didn't move the other. Okay, well, I tried to do something cheeky there. All right, so it is visually confirming exactly what we see on the OBV. Let's see if I can make this a friendlier color for you. Right? You can see the breakout. You can see OBV expanding away from the moving average. But if you can wrap your head around this volume impetus idea, now at the same time, right, we had the red bars doing exactly the opposite. So we had like a high red bar, then we went down, and then up, and then it peaked up here, and then the bears kind of went to sleep, right? And then as the bulls were waking up here, right, this is the red bar now, the sellers we're looking at. You guys see, remember we were just talking a moment ago, as the green bars were ramping up here, the red bars actually put in an M here. I don't know whether you can see that. My chart's kind of
yeah, it's very vague though, but
all right, can you see how the red bar peak here? Then we pulled back, right? I mean, you could even take that down to there. Then the red bar, the next one was lower, but then these red bars now started to actually be lower than this level. Can you see that low bar there? And then again here and here. And so in essence, an M is created in the red bars or the selling bars. Can you see that, or have I totally lost you?
no,
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. The cumulative effect, as we can see from OBV, is woohoo, right? The buyers, the bulls have taken over. Now the interesting thing is volume impetus, that told you that there was a breakout right here, right? Now let's go see where that would have got you long this thing if you had just simply followed the volume breakout. So that was that bar there. That, interestingly enough, was just this bar right in here, just as price was breaking up to new highs. And there was a lot of money to be made after that, right? That was right into there. You could have ridden this up into that rally there.
Yeah, and I think I said 2 weeks ago, like the accumulation that was going on at kind of the $1 level, looking at it more in the fiat space.
Is this FCT, or are you talking about FCT?
FCT, yeah. Yeah, I was watching it on like the conversion rate to $1 US just to kind of get an idea of like how is this thing in a vacuum compared without Bitcoin comparison. And yeah, you could see like it was moving around that range you drew there, based mostly on Bitcoin movement at that time. But yeah, it's really interesting that you pointed out that third peak really had no volume behind it. I've been listening to some audiobooks on my drive over here. There's reminiscence of a stock trader.
Operator?
A stock operator, yeah. What was the other one? How to Beat Wall Street. And he talked about the RSI. So if you see price going up, but the RSI isn't going up, then that's usually a good indication that the market's kind of peaked.
Right. So everybody in our audience right now is going, Alex, that's... Will, do you know what he's making reference to?
Do I don't know?
No.
Yeah?
I have no idea. I do not.
That's our divergence.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. And in actual fact, in my material, I even quote that too. Where in the OBV, if you go on Invest,
the RSI had to be going down with the price going up for it to be a divergence.
That's a bit, and that's exactly what Alex just said.
Well, I thought he said the RSI was just.
I said not going up, which is
not going up.
Yeah, it construed it as going down.
Argue my point.
Take it to its logical conclusion, William.
Okay, so I thought this was a really, hopefully you guys can, and everybody in the audience can see the W here. Can you all see the W? I mean, if W's are in your trading plan, then you had no reason not to take this trade, right? It's really a function of what's your trading plan. If W's are in your trading plan, and Lord knows, a lot of people that end up, joining our site, joining the school, they're just like, holy crap, I'm in love with M's and W's now. So my hunch is the people that are watching this show, they bought into this concept of M's and W's. There's no reason whatsoever you couldn't have had a trading plan that said that when the market W's, I buy a breakout of the middle of the W, and my stop is below there. How do you think that trade would have done? You bought right here. Woohoo! Right?
Yeah.
Really, the ultimate question is, can you handle the anxiety of putting the position on here? That's really what trading is all about, isn't it? Anyway.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another coin FCT is, I think, run its course now. You can see there's lots of sells there, but definitely check on it weekly to see if it gets back into some sort of buying area. So.
Well, same old. We just draw our little fibs, right? So we can. The interesting thing is you can see. Okay, well, I'm gonna grill you again. What is the name we give this level right here? The 78.6.
It's either Mountain Man or Line in the Sand.
Oh, that's good. At least you got you got the names of both ends of the range.
I'm learning names.
So that's right. So the line in the sand, isn't that interesting? That's just off the old breakout level. What a coincidence, right? So really, very much like, what was the one that we looked at? Actually, check this out, Alex. Can you see how the market rallied up, came down, and just literally kissed the previous breakout level?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Right. This is actually a great testament to the parking garage. Have you guys ever heard me talk about the market as a parking garage?
Yeah, we have actually one or two times.
All right. So you can literally see how this is one level of the parking garage, and now this is a level of the parking garage, right? My hunch is, we use the 38.2 as, anybody remember what we call that level?
Yeah, what do we call that level?
I'm going to say the last something.
Well, the first stop.
Oh, first stop target.
Yeah, and what I actually expect, thinking parking garage, I actually think the market is going to bounce off this 38.2 and play in this range. If it loses 38.2, it's got to come down to this level of the parking garage. So, yeah, I'd keep a close eye on this 0.00340632.
All right, setting some alarms now.
Yeah, so price gets down into there. check out your momentum and your volume indicators, look for price structure, 3 reasons for a trade, go.
All right, so I'm sure everyone at home's itchy for something that maybe is closer to a buy location.
Well, I can tell you a couple of things I bought recently.
All right, I'll let you do one, and then we'll go to mine next. All right.
I bought this bad boy. Check out this.
Oh, clams. Oh,
I don't understand.
I'm disappointed in you, Brian.
I mean, you guys look at the chart. I mean, I see that, and I don't know whether this is correct.
Everybody else sees clams. Brian sees pearls.
I guess. 1.6 million coins in circulation, available supply. I go on Coin Market Cap, and it says that there's 11 million totally issued. So I'm not quite sure which number is correct.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We may have gotten bad data on this one.
Now, you guys all appreciate that, really, there's our trading range. And so as a result, really, if I am a RLZ trader, which basically we are for our little old lady, anytime we sort of get into this area, I have to start getting interested. And then, on top of that, we had a spike off of this low, and so on a consolidation of this rally, I can get interested. And so as a result, I went and did some nibbling down here. Actually, it looks like the trade's working out relatively well, so that's good. I went in at 1,500 and change. Where did I buy it?
So CoinMarketCap says total supply is 15 million, available supply is 1.6 million. So I don't know if they had like a huge burn off, or I don't know.
Okay, I don't quite understand, but I ironically enough, either way, I kind of like both numbers. I love 1.6 million, but I'm not too sanguine with 15 million. That's a half decent number. So I went and bought 1% of our portfolio for the little old lady account in here at 1,500 and change. And I've got another bid for another 1% right at the top of this little tail right here. See if I can sneak in for another 1%. If this is all that I get and she takes off, a double is just right there. Isn't that incredible? That's a double, just back to the 200-period moving average. And of course, if we do reload zones going the other way, check this out, right? You can see that not only is that realistic, I actually think we're probably going to get up into here. So I think I got a pretty good shot at getting some free coins here. And you know, I've only risked 1% of my portfolio. So, and I've got another stink bid working down here. I wouldn't mind getting 2%, but if if it's just 1%, fine. That's so be it. And I guess the reason why I'm really interested, like I said, is we're in a they basically. I mean, can you tell us, Alex, what was so special about this thing that everybody was in love with it when they ramped it up here, and then what happened? Who shit on whose head to cause this?
From what I understand, it's something to do. You can like send your coins to turn into clams. Like I don't know if it's burning them or something. I don't know. I just couldn't get past the name and like something about it going on. But they are margin trading on Poloniex, which is again surprising to me.
Well, it has over a $1 million market cap, which is surprising, I guess, compared to some of the altcoins that we look at that have 50,000 or something. So
yeah, like it's not small by any means. It's just nothing that I'm looking for investing in. Like if I'm more of an investing type trader, I'm not looking for any long-term value here. But there's got to be something going on if there's all this value. But it sounds like it's very centralized. If there's 15 million coins and only 1 million are actually trading. So it's something to do with, like, I think you burn coins to get clams, something along those lines. I don't know. I just briefed over the and to refresh myself.
Way back when I was a kid, we used to call money clams. I don't know whether you knew that.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe there's some.
I've heard my grandpa say that before, Brian.
There's maybe there's a Max Kaiser or something involved in this, and that's where they get this CLAMs reference to.
Well,
If we look at the internals, I mean, frankly speaking, this is the kind of stuff internally that we want to see. Can you see the battle in OBV that's going on here?
Seems like low liquidity combined with margin trading.
Well, I don't really give a rat's ass what it is, right? All I see is what letter of the alphabet does this start to look like?
Why? Why am I buying this?
Well, I'm buying this to make money. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there, Brian.
If you're here, ironically enough, if you're actually here to invest in good stories and be a part of the crypto community, you're actually probably. I'd be willing to go into a picking contest with you. Because unfortunately, investing in good stories doesn't necessarily mean you're investing in good money names. Really, all I want to do is get me those free coins, right? And get my original capital back, and then I don't have a risk on the trade. So when all the crap that I teach my students, and I'm not going to call it crap, but all this good quality stuff that I teach my students, this is it in Technicolor. So if anything, if I saw this in the market and I didn't buy this, then I'm actually a shitty teacher. I'm not doing what I'm teaching people, right? So, I clearly see a W here. I see it. I don't know whether you guys see it, but I see it. Mm-hmm. And then if I look at something like my momentum oscillator, I also see a W here. Can you see that? Down, up, down, breakout?
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of have to follow my indicators, follow my, eat my own cooking. And so, as a result, I was in buying this. And keep in mind, too, a lot of the ideas that I'm buying into, when I'm buying into them, people are like, what are you, nuts? That happens a lot.
Yeah, John Q. Public Stirk over there.
I'm a couple beers in, so forgive my mouthiness.
That's no problem whatsoever, and if anything, put me to the test if you need to. But the long and short of it here is I'm trying to demonstrate to the public how I've turned 1 1/4 coins into 5 coins or whatever here in a year and a half, right?
And I understand that, Brian. I'm making the argument of you should probably avoid leverage on this because I feel like there's fuckery afoot.
And actually, I was going to get to that. But we kind of got distracted. What I actually did here, because we're sitting on a fairly large, relatively speaking, Bitcoin balance, I actually moved 1/4 of a Bitcoin over to the Polo, to actually do a couple things. The first thing, and it's interesting, I'm not quite sure why. Oh, because we moved it over to the margin. You guys aren't covering the margin yet, are you?
No, not yet.
Very close, though.
So when I had it on the regular Polo account, there was one gentleman that said to me, Brian, doesn't it seem like you're taking a heck of a lot of risk having all your coins over at Bittrex? And so I took that to heart. I got the Polo account back up and running, and I'm going to start filtering positions over to Polo just in the name of diversification.
As a hedge. I mean, Polo is really hot right now too. I mean, we're seeing.
I also, and this is my challenge, is that I have done the little old lady trade, and this is a very specific risk model, right? At the same time, I'm also going to try and trade this CLAMs on margin over here on Polo. And I agree with you, Alex. I don't like a margin trade right here. I need to see more market structure to confirm that it's a bull before I can start buying. But what I would like to do over the next couple of weeks is just demonstrate how to do margin trades off this as well. So.
And maybe to throw some fundamental knowledge at you, right now, Poloniex, since there is such demand for the margin trading, lending rates are absurdly high right now. So what might be even beneficial for you to do is buy some clams because it is in a good location, and then loan those clams out to actually make some interest on them.
Right. Clams right now is one of, 11 coins that are on margin. Who knows what Polo is going to add in the next month?
Yeah.
You know?
Cough, decred.
Well, and what's interesting is that it's only 2.5% leverage, or 2.5 times. We're not talking like 10 to 1 leverage here. This is relatively small. So this should be fun, and as a fun experiment, you know, especially for my site members and stuff, I do hear more interest from the crypto community for commentary on margin trading on these 11 coins, and it's very odd how they came up with the choice of these coins, eh? But nonetheless, I went through one by one, and the only coin that I'd be even the slightest bit interested in on the long side is this clams. In fact, I'm so interested, I actually went and just bought some for the little old lady. And this should be a fun experiment. I'm going to have some fun with this. So we're not going to be trading off the daily. We're going to be going down to like the 1 hour, right? And we'll apply exactly the same principles, but we'll do it off of lower time frames. Okay?
So I got a coin for you now, Brian. Maybe another one for you to pick up for your collection. XCP Counterparty, and this is one that I was actually surprised was not on margin trading because it's kind of in that same class of like blue chip altcoins, I guess.
That's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Totally.
All right. Well, I mean, as you can probably tell just from first blush, I'm going to be interested in this, right? We're not here, and really the whole purpose of this show is trying to get the audience to stop from buying coins when they're going parabolic like this, right?
Yep.
This is usually when the public buys this stuff. So Alex has brought a name to our attention, and frankly speaking, this is a name that you should be paying attention to if you consider yourself.
If I can say too, in terms of like fundamentals with Counterparty, I mean, Counterparty is very in line with like Ethereum, MadeSafe. You know, you can launch basically apps and different, you know, tokens on that network. So it's not just your typical, you know, mine an individual altcoin. There's a lot more to it. And Counterparty was kind of the original one of those, at least as far as I can remember. So
yeah, I think so.
See when that spike was in terms of when Ethereum launched.
I think that last spike was an announcement from Overstock because they were kind of announcing that they're looking at doing like their stock market represented onto a blockchain. So there was rumors of a XCP, and I think they actually publicly said they bought in and lost money on it because they were the ones buying this peak.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Wow.
And then someone actually pointed out to me, you might even know him on Twitter, Brian, Crypto Elite. I almost forgot about
JC. Yeah.
I almost forgot about this story. There's a contest going on with 15 programmers working on new features for the Counterparty. There's like a dev party contest going on, so maybe we'll start to see upside action when whatever they're working on gets released. But let's, I guess, get some more. Let's see what the chart is telling us rather than the fundamentals.
Okay. There was a problem here. Something went wrong. Right here. What's that date? Be interesting to see what went wrong in November. Something went wrong. And you can see that since that time period, right? That's right there, right? This thing's been, you know, struggling immensely to try and get its footing. So some major player, somebody said no, and this thing's just been on its knees since then. It looks to me, you know, we had our conversation about volume impetus earlier, and you can see how the market moved to sort of a almost like a climax here, And if this thing was dead, we would have seen this bar just spike violently, and this would have just been a big dump and just a washout. The fact that this bar didn't go through this high, I suppose, is somewhat consoling. But more importantly, following this non-breakout bar here, the bulls finally came back, right? And we can actually see, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a management control shift here. Maybe the old players that were involved, maybe your overstock people, maybe they finally walked away here.
Could be.
Yeah.
Whoever now is in control of the story now, you can see them establishing their positions here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so really I would argue, and again, I like to start off with a higher time frame chart as possible. You know, what was support often will now be resistance. You can see how this 0.00267 area is going to be a bit of a brick wall going forward. Me personally, I think I'd probably like to see the market actually confirm this double bottom here, give us a nice W. Really, I'd like to see a bit of time go by here and fill this out a little bit, develop this trading range before I really believe that this is a bull. You can see the moving averages cross bearishly here, and they're nowhere near crossing back bullish. If anything, they're maybe just a bit wide, and so as a result, we're going through a bit of a cleanup here. Momentum, you can see that we have a bullish divergence. We actually call this a potential divergence. Until we go through the middle part of this W, it has to remain potential. But you can also, and it's kind of tough to see, but can you guys see how we have a little mini divergence here? Can you guys see this? There to there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And there to there. Right? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So coming out of here, if we actually got some bullish market structure off of this, you know, well, you don't know, but, well, actually, you should. How many reasons should we have to take a trade? Does anybody remember? What is that number?
1, 2, 3.
3, that's right. So, you know, we could use the divergence as a reason, right? Bullish divergence. Remember, we looked at W's earlier. What was that coin that we were looking at that had all those W's on it? Oh, look, you can see a W right there. That's, you know, yet another reason to take a trade. Ideally, I like my students to have at least 3 reasons: trade location, divergence, and then market structure. So we're very early for us to be thinking about this turning. There is some anecdotal evidence. You know, another sort of piece to the puzzle. Willie is what we officially call stupid down here. Trying to work his way out, but no real W's per se there, too extremely. So on the weeklies, like I said, there was a major technical damage done here. She's trying to clean herself up. If we go back to the dailies, you remember earlier I had said that, you know, I was interested on this area. You know, I bet that little old lady-wise, I probably was in here buying this level, and we were selling halves on doubles on this rally. If I went and looked on our website, that would be my hunch of what happened here. XCP, right? Or is it XPC? XCP. Yeah.
You got her.
So let's see what we did. Ring that register and take those profits. That's good. That was August. Yeah. So we bought basically off the lows last spring, and we're selling on that rally through last summer. So that was basically this bottom here. Alex, can you see the W right here?
Sure can. I think I remember pitching that episode too. I might have even been around for it.
So the you know, like, we could take this W and risk against this W, looking to sell halves on doubles and try and establish free positions. I already have a free position, so I really don't need to add any more to this name. Obviously, the free position that I have is, you know, it's come off, but I'm not really going to be in a great hurry. I don't really like the fact that it broke down through these lows here. This, in my opinion, is going to take some time to clean itself up. All right?
Yeah, looks good. Hey, Brian, before we move on here, I thought maybe I'd just interject quickly. You had mentioned earlier the Litecoin halving when we were looking at the Litecoin charts. And I just really quickly wanted to show how you can see that on our charts.
Cool.
So I was just going to pull this in. You know, I didn't find a good time to interject while we were on that chart, but you can click this blockchain data button up here.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to see, you know, the reward size, you would click on that option down here, which obviously when that, you know, changes, that's the halving basically. So as you mentioned during that analysis here, that this price rise was just ahead of the halving, which you can see occurred here on August 17th.
Yeah, and really, I bet that's exactly what Bitcoin's going to do. So
yeah, I'm thinking so.
To have.
So you can see that on the daily chart as well, obviously.
Oh.
It shows you here that it went from 50 down to 25 coins on this, you know, the lines at the top there. So
yeah, I
just wanted to throw that in quick.
Difficulty too. You can actually kind of see we peaked out even well before the halving, and like difficulty just flatlined. Really interesting stuff to see there with it.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. It's, you know, it's this is definitely kind of pioneering a new frontier in terms of technical analysis of trying to mix in blockchain metrics in terms of how they're impacting market price. So
by the way, Alex, too, another thing you can do is you can merge that up.
What?
So right here on the left, if you click the drop-down arrow,
let's see here.
Click merge up, so you can get like that directly over the price. You can also like change that to a line.
Yeah, so you can see people started buying.
It's just
ASICs.
really interesting. You can see like almost when they cross over. Granted, they're not necessarily correlated, but
no, but like the halving was right here where and when I looked at this on the charts, you can basically see like when one miner in China probably unplugged all his ASICs and then sold it to another guy who was getting power for cheaper, and then they started plugging them back in, and it looks like
with the geothermal.
Yeah, well, there was actually a guy who got caught stealing power in China. It's a whole big thing. That was a really cool, thing where he's not getting anything. And I know of one other person in the altcoin space who is getting in trouble for his mining as well. So I won't mention him by name, but I'll be speaking with him shortly here. But yeah, now looking at this, there was another drop. So it looks like another miner maybe sold off his Litecoin, did a little pump and dump here, and then
just switched to a different coin for a day or two.
Maybe, yeah. Another script coin was more valuable. Maybe he was going for that Doge. But this
I wonder, is there any way you can put on some sort of overbought, oversold indicator over those events?
I mean, you can put the Willy on there, and you can also merge that up, or you can merge. You can unmerge.
And do you know for certain that those spikes, that's the difficulty? Is that what you said that is?
This is that's overlaid.
So those spikes down, those are miners leaving the network?
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
it's a drop in hash rate that the network changed its difficulty for, so it's probably the best way to look at it. It's interesting right here, there was a price movement up right when the hash rate went down. So someone went crazy buying, I guess.
Then the exact opposite happened the previous time.
Yeah, like that's why it's very strange here. Like you literally see a dip,
and then the other time before that, price was going parabolic through the event.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, as Alex zooms out, I mean these dips are very minor. It's just that we were zoomed in, so they look a lot more severe than they really are.
Yeah, you got your baseline and everything. Like 2015, like we had our peak, and basically like Litecoin has reached an equilibrium, and unless we see maybe new script miners coming out, this cost benefit, like Litecoin is probably going to maintain this
once
$3.
the alpha technology, alpha T miners come up.
Them quantum computing.
Oh, wow.
But, no, it's really interesting stuff, and I think this is such an important fundamental tool, only available on Coinigy.
That's right.
Shameless plug. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, no problem. No, you guys deserve it. I'm excited to start overlaying this, and as you start adding more coins, it's going to be really cool.
Do JBS now. What is it? What does JBS tell us?
Well, JBS is proof of stake, so I don't think the difficulty will really show. I don't.
Yeah,
It'd be a flat line, I think, unless it's like a hybrid coin.
Yeah, JBS is a hybrid, I think, right?
Yeah, so we only are showing right now the proof of work blocks for hybrid coins.
Okay, here let's.
Because proof of stake, it's just a straight line essentially. The difficulty doesn't change on them.
Yes.
We do plan to, in the future, show that line still wherever it's supposed to be for the difficulty.
Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of stakers here, and the difficulty went up. Someone wanted to stake for a little bit.
So, what does this chart tell you? How would you actually use this?
Well, it's difficult because JBS is a hybrid coin.
The proof of stake would probably show you more people having the coin withdrawn from the exchange, and like they're basically holding it and using it to support the network rather. So seeing like an uptick or even like more upwards movement would mean more people aren't looking to sell this. They're not working orders. They are withdrawing these and keeping them on the computer. So they're actively participating in the network rather than trading it.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the way, you could find that decreases supply, which could cause the price to go up if there's demand for the coin on the open market. But
yeah, I think it's like a good coin.
I think right now, Brian, a lot of the questions that you're asking don't necessarily have good answers yet, because I don't know that this type of analysis has really been done before. So I think it's going to be up to traders to try to learn some of the patterns that develop and things to look for in the data.
Okay.
You always have to switch to.
Oh yeah, it's always loading the old one.
The blockchain data is still in beta. And what is that? Doge? Oh, we don't have Doge.
Well,
yet,
Doge has merged mine, so sorry.
We don't have Doge blockchain.
There's got to be a decent example. Litecoin's probably the best example since they went through that recent halving. But yeah, like if anyone's looking to try and find patterns in hash rate combined with market structure, but is the market capitalization, is that in Bitcoin or is that in U.S. dollars?
We have it. We have it in both in our data, but I think right now we're just showing it in U.S. dollars when you select it on the chart. But we can easily add it in Bitcoin also.
We're trying to figure out the best way to do it because we basically have historical exchange rates in every currency, and we don't want to necessarily give you 180,000 options in terms of blockchain data. So we'll probably do like BTC, USD, Euro.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself.
So this is
because you have to have it saved. You can't do it on the fly. So that's why it's just USD and Bitcoin.
Maybe I'll look at FCT. It will show us a good floor in here.
Because some of these chains have, 100,000 blocks in the last year, so we couldn't calculate it in any quote currency on the fly.
Oh.
Just to give you a heads up, if you click on the blockchain, it'll populate right there if we have the coin. Otherwise, it'll be at whatever the previous coin is.
I see. Oh, so I should look at this list and see if I know.
Yeah, we only have like 135 right now, so we're working on getting a lot more data in.
You're on your way. Oh, I don't know what ticker anal is, but I'm not clicking on that one.
Interesting how your eye went to that.
Oh, Gridcoin. This is a great one
There
for
we go.
difficulty. Yeah, no, this is a favorite of mine. Well, I guess we got to load up their chart first. But,
Yeah, we have to streamline this whole process, so
Well, you know, that depends, I guess, because you also want to be able to allow people to see a blockchain metric from one coin and with a chart from another coin. So you can make an argument both ways that if you start forcing it to change coins all the time, that might prevent people from seeing what they want as well.
Yeah, no, Rob, I'm with you. Rob and I have gone back and forth on this several times.
messing up my tickers. IOC.
Yeah, there's an IOC and an I0C for some reason. But
yeah, people are assholes. That's why. Now that we're starting to get more leases again in the space, we're starting to see fights over ticker symbols. It's great. Like, getting more development, I guess. Brian, you mentioned Max Kaiser earlier, and I think we had quite a few requests for Startcoin. If you wanted to take a look at that.
Okay.
It might be in a better spot, really.
For a while ago, didn't we? But,
We've looked at it before, and I think there's been some recent stops.
So do we want to look at this on Cryptsy?
Cryptsy fits in a vacuum.
All right. Well, so same old, right? I mean, definitely in an attractive trade location. Question is she ready to go yet? Right. You know, again, the good part about it is we actually have enough data that we can start looking at the higher time frame charts. And if we look at the weekly chart, you know, we can see this is basically the area that they bottomed her in before. Momentum, nothing really to write home about. Willie's washed out. You know, we had lower highs and lower lows here on volume, so you know, nothing to, you know, really write home about. It is good to see this, you know, the bulls are waking up here. This was higher than that, but at the same time, the bears were also pretty active there. So, you know, and I've often seen these kind of stories. I don't know, have you watched Cannabis? It has these big run-ups, and then it'll just flatline for like a year and a half. And really, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is just parked, right? They did the big run-up, they made a pile of money, and now it's just a simple question of them just slowly getting Joe Sixpack to lose all and any interest in this story. And so we could easily just play ping pong. Now, you know, traders, this is what, 5,000, and this is 13,000. So there is definitely money to be made for traders back and forth. You can see a little gap right here you could use as a trade location. And, you know, I don't, you know, actually I was just about to say this is Polo. These monster wicks and tails are so typical of Polo, eh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there has to be more business around them. That's just so normal for wicks and tails. I don't like the look of this little potential M top. If we start coming down here, then, you know, in the short term, that actually is a little bit bothersome. So, and really, I haven't heard too much talk out of this sort of sector. Have you? And keep in mind, if gold and silver are coming back, do you think Max Kaiser is going to be too interested in cryptocurrencies?
No, this whole crowdfunding platform too seems to be, I don't know, overdrawn, and I think it's actually going to be at risk now because Ethereum is a much better platform for doing crowdfunding rather than these centralized kind of deals.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of just issuing Startcoin.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that kind of autonomously issued than issued by a person, I guess.
And I heard from someone who actually did a Startcoin or StartJoin fundraising that they wanted to pay all of his fundraising out in Startcoin, so then he was basically stuck within a liquid market to have to dump it in. That actually decreased in value after.
We've heard the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is Kaiser kind of, you know, using something to his advantage, not to talk.
Yeah, I mean, back when gold market was pretty dead there, eh? I could understand a capitalist like Max Kaiser looking at this crypto market and going, "Fuck, man, we can raise some money here. Let's go and let's fleece these kids," you know. It wouldn't surprise me at all, one bit. These gold guys, man, they are sharks. You got to be really, really careful with these gold bugs. And you know, when I watch Max Kaiser on the internet and stuff, no offense, Max. I mean, I don't want to get into a war here or anything, but he likes to sell fear, right? Fear sells. Anxiety sells. So he's always talking about the end of the world's about to come. The end of the world's coming. Oh my God, it's all going to hell in a rat basket. You got to buy your gold, right? I don't really like that kind of investing. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's an interesting location, but you may be sitting here for a while.
He's going to bore everyone to death.
Pardon me?
He's going to try and bore everyone to death, but...
Well, and that's just it, you know, like, I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are saying to him, you know what, just be patient. The kids, they're going to get new computers. They're going to forget their secret codes. These coins, they're just going to evaporate over time. They'll just disappear. I don't know whether that's the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if people are telling him that. But anyway.
Just to point out, there's now a 15 Bitcoin wall on clams on Polo. So good work, Brian. Somebody's looking to you.
Look
Yeah.
what you did, Brian.
Someone's slamming it?
Someone's wanting to get filled hard on clams now. I don't know if that was there before, but yeah, now a massive.
Smell it.
Slamming the clams.
Slamming the clams, eh? That's a good one. Slamming the clams. No, it's not really moving.
It's on Polo. If you expand the side window, you can see.
Yeah, I know. What? Polo's up.
Yeah, there's like a 10,000 or 93,000 order. Oh my God.
This guy right here. Oh, somebody's trying to bid it up here, eh?
Yeah, you know, you're prolonging it. Is that the term of like holding the market up?
Well, that's good. So I'm actually making some good money here. Can't complain.
Oh, jeez.
So I think one other coin that I'm kind of interested in.
What am I missing here?
Who's the Max Kaiser now, Brian?
Yeah.
I don't. Am I missing something about this equation? What's going on?
No, it's just funny because it got mentioned and now all of a sudden bids are coming
There's
in.
a huge buy order for it. That's all.
It happens.
It might even just be 5 Bitcoins and somebody's buying it on leverage now.
Hey, somebody may be pissed drunk and fat fingered. That was supposed to be 9, not 9,000. This is crypto, right?
Yeah. So while we were talking about like legends and stuff, I guess one other coin that might be of interest is Purecoin, PPC.
Oh, wow. Purecoin.
Yeah, like this. And if anything, I would say this thing.
I like the history lesson here for all the new folks.
This was the first proof of stake currency. It's a hybrid proof of stake, and a lot of coins are based off of pretty much all proof of stake coins are based off of this code. And there's actually a bug in it that every coin had to fix because they all forked the code way back when. So this one, I think you'll have to go to BTC, and that's with the historical exchange BTC-e.
Polo is not the place to look at this.
Well, if you want to look at history and
Polo probably has the most volume nowadays. I would think maybe, but
since Purecoin is so old and so fractal, like across all these exchanges, it's really hard to get a read of where it is. But
wow.
And how far?
So, you know, I mean,
November
2013.
And we do have blockchain info for Purecoin, Alex, so you can get into that later.
Oh yeah, nice.
Nice difficulty charts in there.
I'm just a big fan of M's and W's, right? So obviously this should have been respected as a pretty big event there.
That's when the Bitcoin was $1,200, Brian. You shouldn't have been buying anything at that point.
Well, and then we can see here. Right?
That was Ulsterback, I think.
What year is this? 2013. So this was the very end of the whole rip. Remember we were saying earlier, Litecoin was outperforming Bitcoin and all that.
Yeah, this is when like Doge and all.
Yeah, that's the very that whole run up there into December.
Yeah, can I just say that it's like 2 or 3 years from now, people are not going to remember a lot of this stuff. You know, I mean, when we speak of altar back and the Doge run up and like all that stuff, yeah, people are going to go, what?
Some of this is from before, like I got in, and before I think a lot of people got in, all allured by the $1,200 Bitcoin, and immediately came in, and then, oh man, my Bitcoin's not doing so well. I need a hedge, and they're buying all these other coins, and then they had their runs down. So it's this is when the crypto market really started to like flourish and develop and fractalize, or that's not a word, but
whatever you want.
Diversify.
The good thing I like about this market is it's volatile enough that you can get doubles off fairly easily on this thing, right? Which means technically you can get yourself some free coins. You know, in fact, there was one guy on somebody on Twitter was talking recently. Actually, it was Matt Gathers, the new guy, Matt Gathers. I miss Matt. I haven't seen him around in a while. He was making reference to a couple other internet commentators, and he used to have. So hey, Matt, if you do watch this, nice to chat with you on Twitter. He used to have a rule that he was going to sell a third on a triple. So every time the altcoin would triple, he would sell a third. It's a bit more aggressive than my little old lady approach, but hey, I'm an old man, right? I've got kids that I've got a kid that's probably as old as a lot of the audience that we have here. So you know, I take a little more conservative approach, but you can see you could probably get triples out of these trades, right? The problem is that when you see a coin or any asset that's this volatile, have you guys ever heard the term too far, too fast?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if an asset is this volatile, unfortunately what it usually means is it's got to come right back down to the bottom. And you can see each time this asset has this silly face rip moves up, it comes right back down to the bottom. So, if anything, what you're seeing here with this slow stair-stepping higher, that's good. You know, the audience has worked with me long enough. What are we, 24, 25 episodes now?
24.
It should be pretty obvious where I'm going to want to be a buyer, right? Everybody can see the W. There's Brian's W. Woohoo. Upside targets, well, realistically, I know it sounds crazy, but I could draw a target going all the way back up to this high here. And a reload zone, that basically paints an upside objective somewhere up in this area. So, you know, based on the fact that this thing has a history of doing these nutso moves, unfortunately, I can't chase, so I can't buy here, and I can't endorse you to buy here. Sorry, guys, I just can't. If you did want to be a buyer, I would simply say you got to draw your reload zones, and you got to be patient, and you got to work bids. And so it's interesting how this reload zone, I don't know whether you can see this, Alex, is right off of the original breakout. And what was that level again, Will? Do you remember what that 78.6 was? I don't know. Did you answer? I didn't hear.
Oh, he said line in the sand, but
there you go. So the line in the sand. So you see how we have 3 reasons to justify taking a trade here, Alex, right? Original double bottom up against key loads, reload zone, line in the sand. That's 4 reasons. How many coins are out on this thing?
I don't know. I'm just trying to find somewhere that's got some decent sell walls. It looks like it might be Polo. I see Bitcoin sell wall.
23 million total circulation unlimited. I don't know how I'm supposed to interpret that.
I don't know either.
It must just continue to distribute new coins at a constant rate forever, I guess.
Yeah, it's proof of stake. There is no upper limit. It's basically like 5% every year.
Mm-hmm.
I sure like this little zone right in here. I wouldn't mind working a bit in that area.
I gotta say one useful thing for Coinigy with a coin like this, where you have like 20 different markets, you can look around and see where the shopping is. Like, BTC-e. There's some heavy sell walls on it, but yeah, you can check out Bittrex, Polo, all within a couple seconds.
Do you think that the ARB matrix tool is capable of maybe being tweaked to help fill that need better?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I can think right now of a way that we could do that.
Yeah.
If you could take advantage of that, that would be very helpful. I don't know whether Joe Sixpack Trader Alex can jump around from exchange to exchange to exchange.
Not right now when Bitcoin is kind of slow on us, but I'm sure if you want to use Litecoin to transfer a little faster.
Well, I suppose we could do CIS, right? CIS, their transaction was in like 1 minute, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's quite a few coins that are within the 1 minute spec, but this one, like this coin, has its own there's a peer coin to Litecoin market, so you have to deal with the spreads on two different markets.
Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't want to go down that road, and I find that trying to outguess the troll boxes is very, very difficult. I just want to pick my exchange, pick my level, concentrate on my levels, and work that.
Speaking of picking an exchange, you're on Cryptsy again, Brian.
Yeah, well, that's the exchange of choice, isn't it?
I suppose it is.
Where's Polo? There's Polo.
Yeah.
So these guys aren't even alive anymore, are they? I don't know. And I suppose that we wouldn't do justice if we were doing an altcoin show if we didn't at least have a comment on Cryptsy. Do we have any idea what's happening?
You got to click on the market itself. You selected the exchange.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure Cryptsy will be in our vernacular, just like Mt. Gox is.
I was able to get a whole bunch of coins out. What did I get out? I got SFR. I got like 20,000 coins out of Cryptsy the other day out of SFR.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems like the valuable ones they're not letting go. Like I know there's one guy that's been complaining about Digibyte forever that they won't. They haven't opened up that wallet. I don't think even still.
Okay.
We had a lot of requests for Digibyte to check that out, but I think you mentioned it last time, Brian. You're playing around with like a sine wave tool.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, it's so much out on that thing now, right? That's what bothered me.
Well, yeah, like when I hear people talking, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked up 1 million of it, or was it 1 billion? I'm not sure.
I mean, hey, if you can show me higher highs and higher lows, I'll show you a bull market. So we've got higher highs and we've got higher lows. I think I made the argument that I think where's that high from the previous year? Yeah. I think, man, and then again, what exchange should we be looking at and all this kind of crap. Yeah, I think we can make the argument that, we could probably test this 151 area, right? We're sitting at 56 right now, so there's a triple. Yeah, I think there's money to be made. I've already made my money through here. I'm sitting on free coins. I suppose I could have gone and bought the position back here. But there's so many of these coins with this much out. Does that say 6 billion? Is that what that number is?
That's what it is. This is one of the microtransaction type coins like Doge.
Yeah. So I would much rather go and find. Like I found another one. Actually, Alex, do you know anything about this? It's called Destiny, I think. Do I get the symbol if I just type it in here now?
I do not. Let me.
And actually I was reading up on it, and it was interesting. It was like there's like 2 or 3 key mining pool guys, and this guy, he's only got 147,000 coins out. You see that?
Yes.
And this guy said, all right, to the mining community people, I think if you go on this is the Anon, yeah. And it was so funny because the first blog post that he did was like, oh, destiny, 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 destiny. But do you see anything wrong?
It's spelled wrong. Oh, wow.
Isn't that funny? And these guys, they were making so much fun of him. You stupid idiot. What are you doing, right? Okay, we can make the highlight.
People quoting it everywhere. Nice.
They really,
Wow.
they really.
You might as well just scrap the code and start over with something else. Launch a new coin after you pull that one off.
But the interesting thing is the guy was kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I was stupid. But nonetheless, look at the actual code. And I don't know whether you've heard of these. Alex, maybe as a special project, you could just read this post.
Yeah, I'm on that page right now. But what did you notice about it?
Well, there were like 2 or 3 like mining pool guys, and this guy, as soon as he got their blessing, they said, "All right, we'll point our mining rigs at your coin or whatever." I didn't really understand it too well, and it was you could literally see the guy went like, "Oh, phew." And if you look at the actual chart, look at what it's done.
Yeah. I wonder if that ticker is available on
DES.
Yeah, let's do a quick
The
look
only
here.
place I see it is Yobit, and it's only been out for 2 weeks.
Anyway, it was one that I was.
Probably good wish we had them. Is it listed anywhere?
Well, there it is on your Yobit thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nobody who knows anything is on Yobit. It's a dumping ground. But
Hey, we've had like 3 or 4 requests for trading on Yobit in the last couple weeks.
no.
Yeah.
Well, it's alright for getting the coin fairly new. Like, there's a lot of smaller exchanges. That's where they get
I will
listed.
say
For oh yeah, like
Yobit, Cryptopia, CSEX even. I mean, these guys add hundreds of markets.
yeah, and just looking through the ANN here, the name drop, the mining thing that I saw was Expanse, which is it's
EXP, right?
EXP, yeah. It's an Ethereum clone, and it's been doing some crazy like volatility based around entirely of what Ethereum's doing. But the developer behind it, he's like a serial coin creator that has a shitload of hash rate that he can throw around. So when he's getting involved with a coin, you can expect to see a jump in hash rate. So yeah, if Expanse is getting on board with this, you're probably going to see some market movement. But a lot of these coins, yeah, like they'll get on Yobit and there'll be some accumulation or something. But a lot of them are like banking on like Bittrex to add it or something.
Yeah,
Putting on their hand thread. Gonna be listed on Bittrex in 7 days.
Yeah.
No, I'm 147,000 now. That caught me.
Whoa.
No, yeah, really low supply.
Anyway, I don't know. What time is it? Are we?
I think it's about time to make the viewers wait until next show in order to see some more Bitcoin and altcoin trading talk.
Well, they got lots of tools to play with now with that difficulty and market cap and everything. Like,
I want to see some stuff that's gonna make me go, wow, man! I want to subscribe to your newsletter.
yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely be playing around with it too. I want to find some good correlations for you guys to see for in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and certainly if anybody else has any ideas for new metrics to show that they think would be useful, or if you come up with a ingenious way to use the information for trading, we'd love to hear about it.
For sure.
All right, and so where are you going to be in 2 weeks? Will you be in the Atlantic Ocean by then?
I've made it. I've driven 4,500 kilometers now. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing my last leg home, driving 8.5 hours from Milwaukee to London, Ontario area.
Oh wow, you're just going straight guns, eh?
Yeah.
Straight through Chicago, probably.
Chicago,
during
Detroit.
rush hour.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part, but I don't know. As long as I don't get rear-ended again, I should be fine.
Yeah, in Calgary, that's what you said, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, Calgary. Yeah, I got rear-ended in Calgary by some lady that wasn't watching the road. Someone's just saying that we should look at the difficulty of XCP and price trend, which is weird because XCP.
I don't know if we have XCP or not. We don't really have Crypto 2.0 assets yet.
Well, an XCP is like basically it's a pair with what's it called? Bitcoin. Like it's like merged mine kind of. It's essentially it's colored right. Bitcoin.
I remember that.
I think he's probably just a little confused with he went to a different chart and then maybe
it probably stayed on there. So yeah, if you're watching.
Greg, sorry you messed up, bud.
No, it keeps the same. It keeps whatever previous blockchain.
We'll probably have to change it because it seems like more people expect it to change the coin.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way that you can still add, a different chain, a different coins chain to compare it.
Well, you guys work harder every day.
Except for tonight, not working hard tonight.
No,
Alex is in town.
Yeah, so. we got some beers and had some fun. We'll see.
Little clammies popping up here nicely.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, Brian. When you convince someone to throw 15 bitcoins at it. Now everyone's just market buying it because they're worried. So this is where like leverage is going to go apeshit.
Oh, well, that's actually this is the first time when I think we've had a couple where we've talked about them on the show and they moved, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I have two things to say. So, one thing, flip it over here, I guess. Actually, it looks like Brian's still presenting or something, but.
Well, give me a second, jeez.
So we're doing a contest with 1x.trade. We're going to extend the contest for one more week. We didn't get a ton of submissions, so all that means is if you guys want to get in, there's a very good chance you are going to win a free month of Coinigy.
Maybe you should do the commercial outside of the basement.
Well, yeah, I'm not really working.
You look like you're filming an album cover for your rap album.
Yeah, totally.
The second thing.
You're drunk, man.
Second thing I wanted to say is when we were demonstrating margin trading 2 weeks ago, Alex told me to take a short on Bitcoin, I think at like 427.
Yeah.
And it made a killing, man. I closed that yesterday. So, props to that.
So you're buying the next round then?
Buying the next round.
Good. All right, awesome. No, I'm glad that worked out for you.
That was like a 10% trade, I think.
It was like, 0.2 or something. But next time I'm going 5-10 Bitcoin on.
All right, perfect. Gonna do the claims approach.
I'm gonna get off the camera here.
All right, yeah, no, it's gonna slice, guys, and let's meet again.
All right. Well, I think until next time, in 2 weeks, check us out at Coinigy.com and check out the RationalInvestor.co for all of your trading education needs with Brian Beamish. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.